Self-destruct in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Uh-oh.
Hello, this is QEDHorse here, bringing you Game 1 between QEDHorse and VBPotthead from the Southeast Asia Clan League, Week 6. This is QED, it's a TVT on Calm Before the Storm, a very heavy macro map. Obviously you've got the very safe expansion here you can take. You got very safe expansion up here. I believe I may have dropped the start of this. I'll just start the intros again just in case, for those that have heard it, don't bother listening. This is Southeast Asia Clan League, Week 6, Tier 5, QEDHorse, spawning up here on the top left, versus VBPotthead, spawning on the bottom left. I believe this is VBPotthead's first game in the Southeast Asia Clan League, so he's hoping he shows us what he's made of. He is the head of Tier 5, VBPotthead. He's actually in my ladder as well, so a bit of friendly rivalry there, so it's always nice to see him play and try and learn something. And as we go, we'll see what the openings are and see how they differ. As it stands, they both look like they're going to wall off at the front. Wall off at a fast expand would be pretty common. I'm actually surprised no one's gone for the complete fast expand. Maybe they're worried about a bit of cheese from both of them, you know, if they haven't had a lot of practice on this map and they're not sure where to look for these proxies. As a simple proxy can cause a lot of problem in this map, and as due to the fact that it's such a large place to hide them. You can hide them here. You could even hide one, a cheeky place for you to hide one here and float it over to here and start building marines. I don't ever see anyone ever do that, but if I was Terran, I'd actually probably think they're doing this in this map. Build a racks here and float it over and just start producing marines in here. Be very cheeky and effective. They both have scouted to the sides first. I'm not sure they realise it's cross spawn only in GSL maps, but obviously not. So they haven't noticed each other yet. By the time they get there, they will not be able to get into each other's base, which will leave them speculating what's going on. Although actually they will, because Horse has decided not to wall off at his main. He's actually got his racks at the back. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to drop a supply depot off in time before this SCV gets there. And his VBPotthead's already got his main turning into an orbital command. So he's going to have the advantage in the resources. Yes, he will wall off with the 3 supply depots. It's a very nice move there from Horse. It'll leave Potthead definitely wondering what exactly is going on. So if you look at his vision, he can just... Oh, he's actually snuck in. Potthead has snuck in. Complete. Horse has not walled off properly. Oh no, he hasn't. Sorry, that was my bad. That was actually one of Horse's SCVs. Got excited over nothing. I thought, the Swans was the fool. Unfortunately, he could see the barracks, and then the Marine popped out to prevent this SCV coming in. So he did have to reveal that the barracks was there. He didn't see the tech lab or anything, obviously coming down later. Obviously, Horse couldn't get into this one either. A couple of Marines up here prevent all getting in there. A reactor coming down, I think, off... No, sorry, my bad. I'm a bit lost this morning. A tech lab coming down here. Don't know if he's going to switch to the Marauders or no, he's going to the Reaper opening. Now we saw this from another QED player in Upweighting. Loves his 3 Reaper openings as well, and always seems to go them, and managed to pull 2 game wins over Violation with the same opening, the 3 Reaper opening. We'll see how this opening goes now for Horse. He's actually dropping his command stand down very early in this opening too. So he'll get that up nice and early, nice and quick. It is slightly behind Potthead, so they've both gone for a pretty early expand. Both have gone 1 racks expand, except there's no gas by Potthead, and there's 1 gas by Horse, basically. And that's the difference. And the Reapers, of course, as well. So with the gas, he gets Reapers, and he's dropping down those 2 racks. So he's actually going to do a lot of pressure off this expand, whereas Cottonmouth is actually slowed down, and he's actually dropping another to expand to a to do a double expand, which is a very nice mover. This Reaper will get spotted when he takes out this Marine, but very nicely there he takes out the Marine. The SCV will be live to fight another day, live to scout another day. This Reaper gains control of the watchtower. Horse isn't following up with any more Reapers though, so it's just a 1 Reaper, hold the watchtower, make Potthead get a bit sus, so he started putting Marines around his base, only the jump up points, a couple there, 1 here. So it's a bit sus on what's going down with his Reaper. He's probably expecting a few more. Supply depot going up here by a Horse. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure it's just to see if and when Potthead moves that far, or what the go with that is. But you know, cheeky little one there. The command center is just about done for Potthead, the 3rd. So you float that over and put it there. This Reaper will knock it in. There is a Marine there, which will prevent this Reaper from getting too. If he does a run by, he might be able to get some scouting information out of this. He will get a bit of scouting information, which is what he wanted. He's going to go through here. He's going to scout that it has been up. You didn't scout that there was another expansion up, unfortunately. A ping there, letting me know that that happened. Yes, I know that your Reaper died there. How very, very sad. I'm not sure why he pinged. I guess it's just to let me know, because he knew I would be casting this. But there we go. He did. Yes, the Reaper did die there. Unfortunately, he didn't end up scouting that there was an expansion there. But he did scout there's an expansion here. So I'm not sure if he's going to expect that Potthead hasn't expanded. Which I guess would be when you first see this. If you're not very familiar with the map or familiar with what's going on, you probably expect that this means that Potthead has been slow to expand and has yet to float this over. What he didn't check though was that the fact that it actually is fully saturated expansion down here. Still only 2 gas from Potthead, so he's still going mostly Marines. Horse, on the other hand, is only just starting to saturate his expansion now. He hasn't got a third up at all. He's got a factory going down though, and he has got some Marines going down. He's got a bunker going up. Obviously worried about some kind of counter push now, seeing that he feels that Potthead's on one base only. Stim's just about done. If we look over at Potthead's side, he has not started Stim yet, I don't believe. No, he has not started Stim or Combat Shield, so his Marines are slightly behind on that. He needs to start Stim soon, as Stim is very key to all this. QEDHorse is putting down a sensor tower. I have a funny feeling that Horse and Upweighting have been playing a lot of games together, or running off the same builds, because they're very, very similar with the Reaper opening. Obviously not as similar, as there is differences, but the Reaper opening into a sensor tower, let them know what's going on after expanding, into Marines, getting a factory up, but still building lots of Marines, and getting tanks to assist with that factory. He's getting a tech lab, so it will look like he will be switching into a tank build. He's getting another factory too, so the difference here is now it's going to turn to a very, very heavy tank build from the Horse. Maybe tank and Hellions, so he's going to turn mech. He might make the switch to mech, which would be very interesting if he makes the switch to mech. He's already got this many racks out, so I somehow doubt that, but it's going to be a very mixed composition from Horse. He's going to get out probably some tanks and some Hellions maybe, or he's going to use that to research. Yes, he's researching Siege now. See how many tanks he starts getting running out. A few idle SCVs he needs to fix up here. Let's look back to Potthead. He hasn't floated that command center over yet. He's using it as kind of like a macro command center. Definitely makes it quicker to get gas. His gas is mining easily an extra tenth of a second quicker here with these with the SCVs being close position to the gas. But he needs to float that over and stuff. But we have got a couple of idle SCVs from Potthead as well here. These are silver players here, so you know nothing too unexpected. But just let you know, there's a few idle SCVs he could move back. He's building a hell of a lot more Marines and Marauders, which is a nice composition, nice bioforce. He needs to get his factory down to get the starport up. I can't see a factory anywhere. So he needs to get some medivacs up, as Stim is just about done, and without medivacs Stim becomes quite dangerous, as it does cut down a lot of your health, and I'd hate to see Stim just crumble under a Stim. Potthead is kind of losing that advantage for having that early command center though, and he needs to float over and start mining from it. He has got the supply lead though, a very nice supply lead of 30, so he does look like he's got a very strong force, so if he pushes out now could cause some damage, as siege mode has completed, but only 1 siege tank at the moment. He's got 2 more siege tanks coming, and if sieged up nicely, we'll be able to prevent this force coming in. He has got the sensor tower to let him know when this is getting close. He's also got some Marine who's going to run into this force in a second and die horribly. He unfortunately is not standing on the tower again, so he will not see this force when it comes up, and he will die very, very quickly. Down he goes to this fireball. +1 is starting to be researched for Horse, but no upgrades for Potthead so far. But again, this is a very nice force, and if these siege tanks aren't sieged up properly, would be able to do a lot of damage here. But he has got a nice siege up on his natural. If he sieges his third one as well, it will make it pretty hard to stim up. With a scan though, he can probably snipe at least a couple of those siege tanks with a nice scan and push. He's getting Vikings too, so he's just trying to get the air control as well in case of medivacs. But still no medivacs from Potthead, so he's running a stim force with no medivacs, which is quite dangerous and quite risky. He has to be very careful to stim and when he stims and how he stims, because he will not be able to recover that health. Unlike with medivacs, we're able to recover it. He's trying to split the force here. He's got the Marauders splitting out to the front a bit. He's got a nice little concave trying to form here, so that if Horse comes out and moves up towards this tower, moves out and up towards this tower thing here. It's not really a tower, it's some kind of statue. You'll know what's going on. These Vikings are out here trying to gain some map control. If he doesn't want to get those sniped too early though, he needs to keep some kind of air control though. He doesn't really need the Vikings he's building, to be honest, as there's yet to be any medivacs out from Potthead. So he's got full air control at the moment, which gives him that nice advantage to siege tank. You can use the air control to gain vision. Potthead still isn't floating down the command center. He has got the factory done though now, so he's got the starport going, and the factory is getting a reactor on it. So that's a very interesting move there. And obviously he's going to swap the factory and the starport over and get medivacs and just stick to bio. So he's not going to switch tanks at all. He's going to stay with bio. And Potthead here is pushing out now in the middle of the map. Excuse me for the yawn. He's pulling out in the front of the map now. He has seen that there is going to be a siege tank line here. He's a bit sus. He's not pushing in too quick. He's not sure what's going on here. I don't know if he dropped a scan. We'll just check his vision here for a second. If you look at his vision, no, he hasn't. Oh, he has dropped a scan not so long ago, and he doesn't know what's going on here. Marine versus Marine battle here, and unfortunately, Potthead loses due to the Marine having a +1 advantage on him. And I think Potthead will now realise he hasn't got those upgrades that he kind of needs. He's got the engineering base down, but hasn't started any of them yet. Got a couple of auto SCVs after doing so. Oh, a ninja expand here from Horse. He's dropped a ninja expand out there. He's got 2 sensors up, letting him know if any drops are coming, which is a very nice manoeuvre. He's got the siege tank line up, so he's very, very well defended here on 2 bases. Potthead, but he's very turtle. Potthead really should have moved that expansion out and started mining from his third by now. He's got the Bioforce, so if you just stay in the middle of the map, wouldn't be able to push out past it. He's got a contain on Horse, and he should use that to get an advantage. Instead, Horse has gone for the dodgy, sneaky expansion here. He'll save up and just drop a shit ton of mules. Oh, sorry, excuse the swearing. Heaps of mules on these minerals, and start mining that out. While Potthead's still just on 2 bases. He's nearly mined out in the main too. He's starting to get low there. It's oversaturated on both. He's now got his 3rd gas up. His Bioforce is getting quite strong, and he's still got the supply advantage too. He's now getting those upgrades, the 1-1 upgrades, and he's got the medivacs out now to heal with the sim. Looks like he's going to start pushing in here. See, there are siege tanks there. He's going to stim forward to try and take out those siege tanks. Unfortunately, it's going to bring him in line with the other siege tanks. He needs to fall back now before he suffers too much more damage. No, he's going to try and push up this ramp. He doesn't realise just how many siege tanks are up there. This is not good for Potthead. He's just running into so many siege tanks now. He needs to fall back. He would have even sniped this last siege tank. He did get that last siege tank though. So he's managed to cull the siege tank numbers down of Horse. Also down to 3 siege tanks now, and due to positioning on the ramp with the siege tanks hitting, it actually hit a lot of Horse's forces as well. So Horse actually did a lot of damage to his own forces there, unfortunately. And unfortunately that we can't bring up own team kills, but he did. Unfortunately, couldn't get rid of all the siege tanks, but he is now behind a supply, mostly due to the fact that those siege tanks are worth a lot of supply, and those Vikings as well. There is not much Bioforce left from Potthead, so it's mainly CT cores. He is resupplying very quickly here. Potthead has decided to finally expand and move some Marine SCVs over. His Bioforce is starting to recuperate now. He's still kept all his medivacs alive, which is very key. He doesn't have to rebuild any of those in a hurry, which is good. He can just focus on building more Marines and Marauders and getting his Bioforce back up, prepare for drops or whatever. As you can see, as I said here, nice mules coming down from Horse. They just keep dropping mules whenever he has energy to do so. Which is mine with mules at the moment, and keep that advantage of having 3 bases up. He's also going to drop his 4th now and start mining from it. And he's actually going to float his... He's actually put another command center I didn't even notice being built here. And he's actually going to float that over and get his 5th. So he's going to get a nice... He's going to triple expand off the back of this, basically. He knows that push by Potthead was quite an all-in-ish push. But he also knows that he can't push back to the fact that he's got his siege tanks. And one bad engagement with siege tanks and he's gone. As if he catches them siege, he's in trouble, so it'll be a very slow push, and by the time he gets over there, the Marine count and mortar count from Potthead should be back up high, which he is. It's slowly catching up in supply to Horse very quickly here. So instead he's actually going to triple expand off this. He's going to take his natural, which seems like the logical move, and it's a move that Potthead would expect and would probably scan and check. He's going to do another ninja expansion down the bottom here. Horse obviously has great multitasking here to be able to look after so many ninja expansions. He's regularly dropping mules at this one. He's got his forces starting to build up nicely back here. He's got a lot of siege tanks, so if a nice siege, he could probably even switch to mech from here. He's got very little Marines and a lot of siege tanks. He actually's got probably a fair few Marines here. If we look at the unit count, which you bring up under you, he's got 22 Marines. 20, oh no, sorry, it's Potthead. He's got 20 Marines, 20 Marauders, and 7 medivacs, 7 medivacs, 4 Vikings, 11 siege tanks, and 42 Marines from Horse. So he's pulling out definitely supply lead. Pretty much all that supply lead is in Marines on Potthead. Those tanks as well take a lot of supply, and there's a lot of them there, which causes a lot of problems. Potthead now is going to start pushing out again. He's building a mass lot of racks. He wants to be able to respawn very quickly here. Little Marines Marauders having a dance there around the tower, ring of roses around this tower here, which has been shot down, unfortunately. I'm not sure if that was Potthead in his anger earlier shot it down. With these mass racks, he's going to catch up supply very, very quickly once they're built. Produced a lot of units very quickly, and he does have the minerals to do so too. So does Horse actually. Both got a lot of minerals, and they need to start building more infrastructure to use it. Potthead, of course, taking that to heart and building a lot of infrastructure right now. He's getting tech labs and reactors on a lot of them, so he'll be able to spam a lot of units out quickly. And in the resupply effort might be what wins him this game, to be honest. His SCV count is slightly lower, but not by a critical amount when you add mules in. The difference being, of course, Horse has all these bases scattered around. He's actually going to send SCV in here now, and will it get sniped? He will see the SCV. He will. He's even sending a couple of marauders. Nice move, Potthead. These Commando Marauders there getting a nice kill with an SCV. He's already got one kill. He must be quite happy about that. He has got +2 on his attack now. And this force will meet in the middle. Will he siege in time? Oh no, I think Horse is getting caught out here unsieged. Not very good at all. He's only got one tank sieged. He's now starting to siege tanks at the back. Potthead's falling back. He should have pushed forward though. I think he could have taken out all those tanks and resupplied a lot quicker. He needed to focus fire those tanks, and he could have resupplied so much quicker than Horse here. As it stands though now, he's taken back the tower. He managed to catch a lot of those tanks in a bad position, which was nice. He's now got his mass snail trail of marines and marauders across the map. All these different barracks just building away. He's keeping minerals nice and low that way. He has got 3 bases up. He's though mined out on his main pretty much, and then mined out on his natural. So he needs to take a third. I'm not sure he's going to take it. Probably down here would be the best place to take it. He's got to take the rocks out there. SCV is now going across here, and I don't know if he scanned there to find out what was there. No, he scanned to find out the tanks were sieged. He has managed to catch a few tanks unsieged again, but Potthead, oh no, he's moved commanded right into the range of those tanks, unfortunately. I think he was trying to get around the back to target fire the tanks, and as a result he's moved commanded into a lot of them. It's all pretty much trade out evenly here though. Potthead has lost a lot more forces than QED Horse, and Horse has got the siege tank here at the back still, and he's resupplying. Supply lead for Horse is still quite high. Mostly in SCVs though, not in units at the moment. In units at the moment, Potthead is catching up quite quickly. But he's also going to start running out of minerals. He needs to expand again. He's got the infrastructure, but not the expansions now. He's keeping his mineral count very low. Oh no, a bit of miss rally here by a lot of his units. They're going to walk into the fire. Oh no, miss rally. This Viking's giving him a nice view of what is going on here. He's got a lot of marauders, but not a lot of marines. They can't even deal with those Vikings. I don't know if he's got enough now to stim into this. He's probably getting close to having enough that he could probably stim in and take out a lot of those tanks. But those Vikings are giving such good map control. And here comes a Thor. Horse has now switched into Thors. He's switching slowly into mech, I believe, or into some kind of massive... Oh, he's going to try and catch these tanks again unsieged, and he will catch a lot of them unsieged again. So Potthead here pushing in, taking out a lot of the units. Nice stutter step micro there. Will it be enough to take out all these? I think it will be. He has taken out all the forces. Horse decided to drop his Vikings, managing the fact that he actually doesn't have any other air for Potthead to really worry about, because he's actually shot down all the medivacs. So the Horse has got more medivacs. He's got a lot of medivacs, but he hasn't got many units at the moment. And for one, Potthead's going to be caught up in supply, which is very, very nice. As this is a planetary fortress though, so he knows that he can't push into this too heavily. He doesn't know about the 2 expansions still. So Horse is getting a lot of minerals, and maybe he needs to build some more infrastructure to make use of those minerals. Would be nice. He says getting Thors out now, which seems like an odd choice. I'm not sure why, but he's getting Thors now. I'm not sure if that's the best way to deal with a mass marauder force. And now these marauders are going to push in. Planetary fortress will be repaired, and it will be repaired in time too. So he will push back this marauder force. Nice auto repair there from Horse, just in time to save that planetary. You go back mining now. And this force, as it's only got 1 medivac, is going to be struggling to keep healing itself. He's getting hit some units, but he's not building any more medivacs. He's going to try and push in again shortly. It's going to be a war of attrition here. He's going to keep pushing in and pushing in and pushing in on Horse, but eventually he's going to run out of minerals. Quite simply, he's going to run out of minerals. He's mained out of his main. He's mained out of his natural. He's only maining off 1 base at the moment and needs to expand again. He's going to try and push in again here. Need to get the SCVs back in the auto repair. No, he's falling back. He's noticed that there is quite a decent force starting to accumulate again for Horse. He's going to just make sure he gets in a nice position here to guard this planetary. I'm still not sure of the Thor switch, but he seems to be happy with Thors. He's going back to tanks now. He's getting at some Banshees now. This is very cheeky. He saw there was very little anti-air from Potthead, and now he's switching to Banshees. Maybe do some harass with some Banshees would be very, very, very nasty. Knowing that there really is only 1 base up for Potthead at this moment. A Banshee here just ripping apart this mineral line. Very, very nasty. This is very cheeky from Horse, switching to Banshees in the late game. He's managed to hold off what was a very strong push from Potthead. Just barely held it off. It was very nice moves from Potthead, very nice stims, very nice targeting at the tanks, sending the tank out. Unfortunately though, now he needs to expand, and I'm not sure where he's going to expand to. I think he might have scanned down here and seen that there is a base down here, and now he's going to come and take it out. He's got the forces moving down to take this base out now. He doesn't know about the base up here though, as well, which is going to mine out some of the mineral that's there. With a nice auto repair, he will be able to hold this base for a little while due to the fact it's planetary, due to the fact there's only one medivac there. Let's see if he responds in time. Yes, he is responding in time with a nice auto repair. It will fall down thanks to use of stim, unfortunately, and this base will fall, and these SCVs will fall. This will probably give Potthead close to supply lead for the first time in this game. No, not quite. He's still about 50 supply behind. He must be really falling behind now in either units or SCVs. Probably most of the units. He's got another command center coming down now. Horse uses this moment to push forward. He's seen that there is not much there. He's going to push forward into the watch tower, which is what he want to do, and he's going to try and trap these units. He knows these units have to come across somewhere. If Potthead is not careful, which he is being very careful here, he's keeping very close to the side of the map, keeping as far away as possible from the center of the tower. So it's a very nice move there for Potthead. He saw that the horse might try and do that, and was very cleverly hit to the side. I don't know if he actually set this Banshee out. No, the Banshee's still remaining here. We'd love to see him do some mineral harass of some description, because basically Potthead is nearly mined out. He's floating this command center over now. He's going to know that, but Horse is going to know when it comes up because of that base there. I'm not sure when he took these rocks out, but he took the rocks out, but didn't even notice that there was a supply center, a supply depot there. He's going to come over here, and Horse is going to know straight away what's going on. He's going to stim forward now. He knows the command center's a move. He's hoping that nice stim here. He's going to siege up at the back. He's going to basically siege Potthead's main now, knowing that his only places he can mine from is there. He knows he's got the mineral advantage. He knows that he's kept him on base way too long, and now he's going to push in and try and lure. And GG from Potthead. Potthead's realised he's fallen behind this game. He's realised that as much as he tried, he didn't quite get the win he needed. He was very close there with the nice stim pushes and nice stim timings, but Horse held him off very nicely. So that was game 1. I'll go into game 2 shortly now, between QEDHorse and VBPotthead. This is QED DeNile, and I'm out.